Hello, hello, and hello again. Glad you guys are here today. Now, I like to start on time. You know me, I am a stickler about starting on time. All right, let me start off with this disclaimer. All right, this commentary is for educational purposes and entertainment only, and it's completely alleged. Commentary is not intended to be malice, defaming, nor degrading in any way. So I just want to make sure we got that out the way. All right? Listen, I am your host and creator, Jocelyn N. McGuire. Listen, go get somebody. Tell them to come on in. Come on in and let's talk a little bit. All right. Listen, I specialize in breakthrough counseling, women's ministry, mental health, also trauma in adults and children. Listen, I do hold a bachelor's degree in psychology. I am a licensed minister and evangelist as well. I am also a certified circle keeper. And one day we'll talk about that, okay? Listen, my goal is to see individuals overcome with the truth. I mean, that's the only way you can overcome it. You got to have the truth. You must know the truth in order to overcome whatever issues you're having. And sometimes the truth hurts. But guess what? You heal. You start to heal from the truth. All right. Listen, our subject tonight, and I'm so glad you guys are in. Make sure you like and share. And don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Jocelyn N. McGuire. And remember, we also are on what? TikTok. All right. All right. Our subject tonight, our topic tonight, and it is hot. Okay. We have a hot topic tonight. And our hot topic is understand or accept. Understand or accept. All right. Understand or accept. In life can start lifing. Things can start occurring. Our personal lives can become a public life. Um, for some that we don't want to know about our personal lives, but sometimes our personal lives will become public in a bad way. All right. And there are various issues, circumstances that may be out of your control that you had nothing to do with whatsoever. But however, you do play as a third party in the role of if you're going to understand or accept. You don't know that you have been selected to choose. You have a choice. You can either understand or you can accept. Now, when we use the word understand, then there are questions that follow understanding. In order to understand something, there are some things that must be what? Revealed. in our understanding. To get a understanding, then there are questions that will present itself, when, where, and why. These questions always come into play when you trying to understand a situation, when you're trying to understand a why, when you're trying to understand a what. So questions come in mind of this understanding. Now, either you can go down the rabbit hole of understanding, or you can just accept what has happened and move on. Because sometimes in life, it starts life and things start to happen. Now, let me give you more of a better clarity of what I am speaking about. Okay. And your understanding, you want the details. Mhm. In your understanding, you want the details of when, where, and why. Um, uh, However, will you gain peace of mind with the details? Or just if you accept, then you just can move on with your life. Like this event did not occur. Now, let me give you an example. And this is something that I saw. One example was something I personally experienced. Another example would be something I observed and being a witness to. Another example I will give you will be a third eye view of a situation. Now, let's start with this situation. All right. Now, when you find out, let's say you find out your husband cheated, okay? It's a subject that's over and over and over again, right? Okay, but however, in the midst of that going on, no, you have been confronted by your husband that you have approached this significant other of his that he's cheating with, and you did not do that. You did not approach them, but he gives you details of what you wore, and it was on a Sunday, of what you wore. And she told me you had on this, that, in this color. I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't me. I didn't do that. I did not approach them. I didn't say anything to them. Oh, yes, you did, because they told me exactly what you had on. Well, guess what, people? It come to find out that someone at my church knew her. They knew the other woman and they knew me. Now, isn't that a scary situation? And they would report back what I was wearing to make it look like she actually had a confrontation with me and I'm doing this dialogue with her. But however, it was a lie. So here I am. Here I am. I want to get an understanding. I want to get an understanding of who it was. So I go down the rabbit hole and I'm just searching. I wonder who it is. Everybody is a suspect at this point. I mean, you can understand what I'm saying. Everyone is a suspect because now it's like you are being secretly stalked, but you are among people at the church that you are familiar with. Well, at least you thought you were familiar with. But you are being stalked, and you want to get an understanding of who who's stalking you, who's watching you, who is it that is reporting back to the husband saying, I did these things, and I didn't. I didn't do not one thing. But however, I've been accused, and I want to know who it is. So I go down the rabbit hole because I want to get an understanding, right? Let me tell you something, people. I went down the rabbit hole. I got jammed up in the rabbit hole, trying to find out who this person was. For many years, I wondered who they were, and they knew me. That's kind of scary. To me, that's kind of scary. I was frightened at this point that you know who I am. People are watching me, but I don't know who they are. I wanted to get an understanding who, where, why. I searched and I kept doing. Let me tell you what, I had no peace. I had no peace. I had no peace at all. So what I decided to do was I just accept the situation. God went ahead and divorced him anyway. But I just accepted the situation that there was someone that was among me that knew me, stalking me, and monitoring my moves, and were lying on me. So I come to accept it because it would not give me peace in trying to find understanding. I was not going to get peace. I was not going to obtain peace. Peace was not present. Peace was not reachable. There was no peace with trying to get that understanding. There was no peace. But my peace arrived when I finally let it go and I accepted what it was. I could not change it. So I accepted what it was and let it go and go about my life. Now, let me give you another example. Let me give you another example. There was a funeral, okay? The funeral took place. The husband had died, all right? The husband had died. All the family is at the funeral, of course. As, like I said, I'm an eyewitness to this. As we were leaving the funeral, young lady comes up to the car and she looks like she's a relative. She looking just like her daddy, the split image. And she says, I'm his daughter. I'm like, wow, where's she come from? Well, guess what? The other person didn't have time for her, didn't want to acknowledge her, didn't want to have a conversation with her, didn't want to ask where, when, why, who you are, how old are you, when were you born, who's your mama, didn't ask none of that. This went on and accepted what they saw and what they heard and did not have to have an understanding because now her husband is dead. So what's the need of trying to understand what has occurred? Because one person is dead and you're living, and I know nothing about you. And I wish not to know anything about you. However, You never guess what happened next. Let me tell you what happened next. She comes to the home of the deceased father and his wife and his other family. She rings the doorbell, answers the door. The wife does. The wife then do not engage. She don't engage at all. She don't ask, who are you? She don't ask, who's your mama? She don't ask, well, when were you born? She don't ask, have you ever met him before? Do you all meet? She don't ask any of those questions. Or do you have any other siblings? She don't ask. She just accepted for what it was and closed the door. She just closed the door in her face. And there was no conversation about where she come from, who she is, and she looks just like her daddy. She just accepted it. She didn't ask no questions about when this happened, why this happened, who are you? Nothing like that. Can you handle the truth? Mm. Ooh-wee. Like and share. Go tell somebody. Let me tell you. Because in these situations and trying to get an understanding, you'll never probably even get the truth. Probably never get the truth. Well, here go another situation. Let me tell you about another situation that occurs. And it's amazing all the time when the husband died. It's something about that, ain't it? It's something about when the husband died. I'm quite sure there's some women out here that got some wayward children that no one knows about but you. But however, it seems to be more prevalent in occurring with the males that will have another child outside the marriage. Okay, will have another child outside of the marriage, and this is the secret child. Well, we have Cynthia. Cynthia says here, she said the daughter probably wanted some money from his wife. You know what? Probably did. Probably did, because why would you show up? When you brought up that money situation, it reminded me of something else. Why would you show up after he dies? Well, I mean, but maybe let's try to understand this. Maybe he had been giving her money the whole time. It was seeing her secretly. He could have been seeing his daughter secretly. It may have been giving her money. That's a good point, Cynthia. That's a good point. Yeah, she probably wanted some money. And maybe to get an understanding, well, do we have to ask? Did your father give you money? Did your father meet you secretly? Have where you live at? You must don't live too far. Do you live in town? Do you live out? That would not give you peace of mind. That would not give you peace of mind. For one, you never get any straight answers. Never get no straight answers. And like Cynthia said, she probably wanted some money. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Cynthia. Yeah, that could be true too. That He was seeing her the whole time, and the wife didn't know the wiser. I hate secrets like that. I can't stand stuff like that because it was so that's just ew. It's ugly. It just like being a traitor, a backbiter. We supposed to be as one, and you're a traitor. You're a liar. You live in another double, triple life, and I have no idea about it. Well, guys, listen here. Here's another story. Okay. And these things are true. Okay. Some of these things are true. I'm just not naming names. Now I could go ahead and name names, but I'm just not naming any names. All right. Now, like I was saying before, usually it's the man that has the outside children. Now, women they have outside children too that no one may know about. Okay, maybe they had it when they was younger and they was hidden, and the child that went and lived with Auntie Sally Mae down in Alabama somewhere, and nobody knew about this here hidden child. All right, now getting back to my story. The husband dies. This is another husband dies. Okay, got a family. Okay, has a surviving wife and surviving children. Well, well, guess what message comes across the wife's phone? Okay, I'm going to continue on. Hey, Sonia. So sorry I'm late. We'll rewatch. Cool beans. Great. Thank you for watching. Thank you. But you're all caught up. Okay. Thank you. Listen, let me get right back. Okay. Listen. So the surviving wife of the spouse that died, and they have children together. All right. They have children, they have a family. All right. So she receives a message. She receives a message. It's so easy to get in contact with people these days. You know that they got the Facebook, they got the Instagram, they got social media, you got all these. You got the what's this one they want me to get on? It's another one, Snapchat, and you got the WhatsApp, and you got a lot of things going on that people can reach you. However, you are not unreachable. Okay, put you like that. You're not unreachable. Now, getting back. So the message states, "I am your deceased husband's other woman, mistress, side chick, and we have 2 children, and we would like to attend the funeral." Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Now, your husband, let's say your husband, I'm just gonna exaggerate. Let's say your husband of 30 years done just passed away. Y'all had 3 children together, all right? And they are young adults. However, you receive a message from a mysterious woman stating that she's the side chick, the other woman, that they have 2 children together. And she wished to attend the funeral with her children. Mm. Uh, What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Mm. What are your thoughts? Is that something that you want to entertain? Is that something that you need to really get an understanding to get some peace about it? Is that something that sparked your mind and you start to think, who could it be? Well, most likely, you will start to think and ponder on it. Well, who could this woman be that says she has two children by my deceased husband? Who is she? Do I entertain the thought of that? But if you, let's think about it. How how deep do you really want to go? How deep is this? Do you want to get the understanding of it, or do you just want to accept it and just go on about your life? Now, if you want to get the understanding of it, then there are some what? Some questions that must be answered. There are some questions that have just presented themselves. So, yeah, okay. Sonia says, she says this, is she going to help pay? Somebody get me a fan. She says she going to help pay for the services. Now, that could be a conversation to be had. Now, are you going, now, sister girl, now, since you saying that he was your man and y'all done fathered, you know, fathered two children by you, are you going to help with the services? Now, if you're going to help with the services, cash at me or Zelle me or PayPal me, then maybe we can have a conversation. Mm. Is she going to pay for the services? Boy, that's a good one. Is she going to pay for the services? That had to be some quick thinking. Quick thinking. Well, are you going to pay for the services, sister girl? Oh yeah, you're more than invited. But if if we said, well, we want to get the real understanding of this. Now, if we did that, if we did that and wanted to get the understanding of it, then maybe to clear our mind, you would want your children to know their siblings so that they don't meet and hook up. Listen, it happens, all right? It happens because one family don't know the other family because they a secret family. And sometimes they might meet and they get together and to come to find out they siblings. Now, what do you think about that? I think siblings should know who their siblings are. If it's outside the family realm, then you should know who they are. Now, it's kind of touchy right there. Kind of touchy right there. But you should want to know who they are. This way, your children don't get mixed up in fall in love and all this and that. And then you come, wait a minute, let's go on there. We might as well go ahead down the rabbit hole. All right. Now, you done got the message. You done got the message. She's the other woman and they have children. Okay. Cynthia says, this is what Cynthia said. She said, no. She said, I wouldn't, but it could affect the children. Absolutely right. She said, I'm like Miss Sonia answer. I had to laugh about it, even though we are speaking about something serious. Yeah, that was pretty, that was, yeah. Is she going to help pay for the funeral? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but Cynthia, now on the other hand, Cynthia, yeah, I would agree with you because you don't know how it's going to affect the children. No, now you know what? I'm gonna tell you something that I know and experience. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen. 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 There's a man. He's deceased now. He was married, had a son by his first wife, then had a son by his second wife that he married later, and the boy's the same age, born the same year, and a few months apart. Wonder how that worked out. Didn't work out too good. You got a brother that's your age, and y'all got different mamas, and y'all not twins, and y'all got different mamas, but you got the same daddy. And your daddy was married to your mama first. Then you come to find out you got a brother that's your age. I can't make this. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. I cannot make this stuff up. I cannot make it up. I can't make it up. You got a sibling your same age and y'all ain't twins. Well, okay, now, okay, let's get back. Mm. Do you want to get an understanding? Because with this understanding, it's going to come multiple questions. You might get the truth, or you might get a lie. Because remember, the other party is deceased. All right? The other party is deceased. Remember that. Remember that. Now, would you go ahead and say, come on to the funeral, you and your children? I would love to meet you. I don't know. At this point, I'd be kind of frightened to meet you. Yeah. Oh, she wants to meet me. She wants to meet the whole fam. She wants to meet me. Now, you should be a little bit leery about that. She wants to meet you with a smile. Well, however, now that may close a certain part of the chapter, but however, guess what? Now you done open up the whole book. All right, you were just on one little page, but now you don't open up the whole book, and now you grade. You done went through chapter 1. Now you grade on chapter 2. Now you want the woman comes to the funeral. You done met her and the children, and she says that the children are entitled to his death benefits. Mm. Now, here we go, here we go, here we go. Do you now you got to get DNA? Do you volunteer one of your children for the sample of DNA that maybe they may be connected through the father? You want to get an understanding, or you just want to accept it and say, hey, go about your business. Go about your business. I don't know if these children belong to my husband or not. I don't want to know. Period. So don't call me anymore. Don't message me. Don't call me. Don't send nobody. Don't write a letter. Don't do none of that. Because I don't want to know. So you accept it and go about your business. Or do you really got to know? Because like I said, when you're trying to get that understanding, more questions pop up. And will you really get the answer? And will you really get the satisfaction satisfaction. That part. Will you actually get the satisfaction? No, because it is a endless journey. It is an endless journey because then here you are, open up a whole can of worms. You ain't put them back in. You know those little trick worms that come out the can, you open it up and they all fly out. You can't even get them back in there, okay? Because they flew everywhere. Now, you done got this can of worms open. Now you get ready to take a journey. You get ready to take a journey because you want to know where they met, mhm, how long it's been going on, how old are the children, where did you meet them at, first of all? How long it's been going on? Where would you all meet up at? Because these are more questions you're trying to get an understanding. Hmm. And how long this been going on? And you said you got two children together. Do you really want to get an understanding? Or you just want to accept it and you move on with your life? I could care less. Because I'm not going to listen, I am not going to benefit from trying to be a detective when the other party is deceased. I'm not going to get no straight answers. I may not even get the answers or hear what you're saying to me, period. Because now I don't know if you're a liar, because he definitely lived a liar's life. So are you a liar as well? Do you want to go down that path, that journey, that rabbit hole of trying to get an understanding? Because that's the key word. You're trying. And this can go on and on. And this can go on and on. And you can become obsessed with it, trying to get answers. And then once you even get answers, you would even start to say to yourself, they could be lying. They could be lying. They could be lying. I'm just saying. I, myself, from experience, leave it alone. Because you will start to even question yourself. You will even start to put your self-esteem on the stand. Your own self on the stand. So you can get an understanding. And you will question your own self. And you will start to even have low self-esteem about yourself. Okay? Cynthia says, she said, honestly, at this point, I don't care because he's dead. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you're dead to me. This circumstances can make a person lose their peace. Absolutely. You lose your peace on top of losing your self-esteem because you want to try to get an understanding. And like I said, you don't put yourself on the stand. And like Cynthia said, and it makes perfect sense. At this point, he's dead. Therefore, you dead to me. Listen, I don't even know nothing about you. I don't even know nothing about y'all relationship. I don't need to know. I don't even need to know where y'all met at. How many times y'all met? Did y'all have a place together? See, these are the questions you have asked to get that understanding. Those are the questions you would constantly ask yourself to get that understanding. And like I said, you put yourself on the stand. I'm gonna get back to that. You put yourself on the stand and you start to wonder why, what, when, what did I do? What's wrong with me? Am I too fat? Am I too dark? What happened? What's wrong? It was me, it was my fault. It must have been my fault. Something I must have did. I must have lacked somewhere. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't have dinner. I don't know. On time. I was trying. You start to put your own self on the stand, and you don't deserve that. Like Cynthia said, you lose your peace trying to get that understanding. You lose your peace because, like I said, you'll never get no straight answers. And you sure cannot dig up the dead and have them talking. You never get the answers. You think you will. If you want to interrupt your peace, then you try to get the understanding. You know, when you lean to your own understanding, ooh-wee, you know how that can go, don't you? Self with self, conversating with self. Oh, I wonder this, I wonder that. Uh, it's self, because it will disturb your peace. Guarantee. Guarantee peace disturber when you're trying to get that understanding about something that has occurred. You don't know that person. They may be lying. Then you start to investigate other people. Well, you have to start to investigate your friends, your husband's friends. Well, did you know about Johnny and this other woman? Yeah, I did. Now where you at? Now where you at? Now you're just gonna have a whole slew of suspects. But you think you got to investigate. Now you got all these suspects, and that make you start having paranoia and just just wondering who's a friend, who's a foe, who's telling the truth, who's lying, who helped him, all kind of nonsense to disturb your peace. Not going to disturb my peace. Listen, people, we're about to wrap it up. Okay. Can you handle the truth? Don't forget. Go over there to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Jocelyn M. McGuire. All right. Listen, it's several Jocelyn McGuires on there, but it's the pretty one. Mm. Listen, guys, it's been great. It's been indeed very interesting, if I say so myself. We want to thank our comments, the people that gave comments. Thank you so much, Sonia, and thank you so much, Cynthia. Thank you ever so much for your comments and your thoughts, because your thoughts were provoking. Oh, yes, very mind provoking. That will challenge the mind. That will help someone else. Listen, are you going to help pay for the fruit? No, no, that's a good one. And she just said at this point, the children. Got to think about the children. How will this affect the children? Just think about that. So these are some key things you need to think about. You need to think about that. Then you need to think about, then you need to think about at this point in time. At this point in time, he's dead. This other person should be dead to you. And remember, this particular circumstances can ruin your peace. Oh, wait. Another thought, Sonia. Sonia said, this man, what a point. This man took money. I almost choked on that one. This man took money out of the household to teach. My God, today maybe that's why I had to sew up that slip 3 or 4 times. You couldn't afford to buy me now, or else that's what you said, because you was over there cheating, spending the money, taking the money out the house when little Johnny needed some new shoes. And when little Brenda needed some braces. And they're the money that went. Something else to think about. Now, I ain't got to know who you are. As a matter of fact, block. I don't have to know who you are. Sonya said right there, she said, yes, you read my mind just then. Yeah, baby, block them. Block. And as a matter of fact, I probably won't even be friends with your so-called buddies. You know, there's, oh my God, this just, when you trigger something, you trigger something. Don't you know my ex, they're deceased now, cheated on me, and everybody knew it. Except me. But when I found out, they told on themselves, I felt betrayed. I really did. Everybody know. You even took them to the, what? You got enough nerve. You took them to the family reunion? Everybody knew, because they knew me first now. They've been knowing me. But then you done popped up with this side chick to the family reunion. I ain't there. It's out of town. Betrayal. I went somewhere else, guys. Let me come back. Let me come back. I am back. Okay. I am back. Okay. That just took me somewhere. When she said took the money out the house. Yeah. That just took me somewhere. Somewhere I went. All right. So anyway, I'm back, guys. I am back. I am back. Sometimes some of those things come up and you remember them and you hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. But however, guess what? It still continues on to this day. Oh, yeah. Continues on to this day. Your best friend will know your husband cheated. It might be cheating with your husband. All right, I'm through. I'm through. I am through. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. Like, share, show that you care, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jocelyn N. McGuire. All right, listen, I love you. Can I get some music up in here? Can I get some music up in here? Let me get us a little something, little music. Let me get something. Let me see. Yeah, that here. Listen, listen. I love you, but you know what? God loves you best. All right, Cynthia says this. She said, yes, this topic has been interesting as usual. Thank you, Cynthia, for your support. She said, God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. Good night. Good night, guys. Good night. And thank you once again, Cynthia. And thank you, Sonia, for joining in with us. We greatly appreciate your comments. All right. Thank you so much. She said, oh, here we go. No message. Sonia says here, she says, me too. And the girl was underage. I was working like a slave and he was taking money and spending it on her. Oh. I knew I was gonna hit somebody else's nerve. I knew I could hit somebody else's nerve. But you know what? We can't make this stuff up. We can't make it up. And you know what? And I'm going to end it right here because we can talk about that, another subject. You never know what it feels like to be betrayed by the one that said they'll love you till death do us part. Some of you might say, oh, I would just get over it. Let's get over it. Let's be glad he's gone. Yeah, but you know, it didn't happen to you. It didn't happen to you. But guess what? We're moving on. Ain't that right, Sonia? We're moving on. We're moving on. I would say survivors, okay? We'll talk about it another time, but thank you for sharing that with us. We appreciate that. All right, listen, guys. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. She says, yes. We will revisit this conversation. All right. We will revisit this conversation, guys. Listen, look me up on Facebook on Can You Handle the Truth page. All right. There you can leave a topic that you would like for me to expound upon. And if you want to remain anonymous, then guess what? We do have an email. Let me get the email address for you guys. We do have an email that you can send in your topics if you want to remain anonymous or not, okay? Now, the email address, I'm looking for it, guys, okay? I had to oh, here it is. I found it. I'm getting ready to put it up here, and we're going to run it through the ticker. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but however, the email address is Can You with the letter U. Handle the Truth Podcasts at gmail.com. One more time. Can you, the letter U, handle the Truth Podcasts at gmail.com. Listen, I love you, but most of all, God loves you best. Most of all, God loves you best. You better believe that. He loves you best. Listen, you're blessed. Be a blessing to someone. You may not have to give them money, but however, be concerned. How are you today? Good to see you today. Oh, okay. Well, I pray for you today. Encourage someone. It's going to be all right. Encourage someone. Bad times don't last forever. Thank you, Sonia. Sonia says, love and blessings, guys. Love and blessings. Thank you. Love and blessings. Listen. Be a blessing to someone. And as our Cynthia would say, keep your spiritual and natural head on a swivel. All right? I read that last week, Cynthia. Keep your spiritual and natural head on a swivel. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy yourself. All right? Until we meet again, have a blessed week. All right? Much love to you. Much love to you.